Welcome to the Life After ECT podcast. Life After ECT is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to improving the lives of those harmed by ECT through advocacy, education, and research. You can learn more about what we do and how you can support our work by visiting lifeafterect.org. In today's episode, we're discussing a question I get asked often. Can ECT change your personality? A disclaimer, I'm not a doctor and none of this is medical advice. What I'm sharing comes from my own experience and my understanding of the current research on this topic. So, can ECT change your personality? Or maybe a better way to put it, can it change your sense of self, the feeling of being the same person you've always been? A philosopher named Patrick Seniuk explored this very issue in a 2018 paper called I'm Shocked: Informed Consent in ECT and the Phenomenological Self. His argument is that ECT may affect more than memory. It may also affect a person's sense of self. For those not familiar with this sort of research, phenomenology is the study of what it's like to experience something from the inside before science or theory tells you what it, quote, really is. Seniuk's argument is that ECT may affect more than memory. It may also affect a person's sense of self. One key point from the paper is that your sense of self isn't just your thoughts. It's tied to your memories, your habits, your body, and how you relate to the world around you. According to this view, memory doesn't just store information about your life. It's part of what helps you feel like the same person over time. When that gets disrupted, some people report feeling disconnected from their past, or like a stranger to themselves. In the paper, Seniuk cites several examples, one of which was a woman who, after ECT, couldn't remember giving birth to her son 9 months earlier. When reminded, she said she felt, quote, strange with him, that he didn't feel like hers. That's not just a memory gap. It's a rupture of her felt sense of who she is in relation to someone she loves. Another patient described it more starkly. She felt like, quote, a completely different person, like she'd lost the person she used to be and had to adapt to someone new. I can relate to a lot of the experiences shared in the paper. When I think about my life before ECT, it feels like it happened to someone else. The medical system often frames memory loss as a side effect, like a technical problem that can be measured and tracked. But Seniuk argues that memory is central to how you experience your life. So when memory changes, the effects can feel much deeper than simply forgetting things. In my experience, I had ECT as a teenager, and some of the people I've spoken with who had ECT around the same age describe similar experiences. Not just memory problems, but feeling like it messed up how we experienced growing up and our developing sense of self. Part of me still feels like I'm 17, like I never really grew up. One question the paper raises is whether informed consent fully captures that possibility. If memory is closely tied to identity, then describing memory loss in clinical terms may not fully convey what some patients later experience. Looking back, what I was told about memory side effects wasn't enough for me to make a fully informed choice. I agree with Seniuk that informed consent should go further, explaining how these changes can show up in everyday life, your relationships, and your sense of self. Another thing to keep in mind is that ECT isn't standardized. People don't all receive the same treatment. Electrical dosing, electrode placement, frequency, total number of treatments, and the person's unique brain wiring can explain why outcomes can be so different. In conclusion, if ECT left you feeling disconnected from who you used to be, you're not alone, and you're not imagining these feelings. Seniuk's work suggests this isn't a footnote or an overreaction, but a documented part of the ECT experience. Seniuk argues memory isn't an isolated function. It's woven deeply into your sense of self, and ECT consent forms should do more to explain these potential outcomes. That's all I have for this episode. Links to this paper and the audio version for those who have trouble reading are in the show notes. Thank you for tuning in to the Life After ECT podcast. That's not just a memory gap. It's a retake. What I'm sharing comes from my own experiences and my understanding of the current research on this topic.